I'm Trey Rich and you're watching The Buzz. On today's show, we have Natasha Calis from the NBC hit show Nurses. In our artist spotlight, we have Dani Doucette, and then we have Lex Lumpkin tell us all about his wildcard weekend coverage. And finally, 10 years removed from Toddlers and Tiaras, we have Eden Wood. It's another great lineup, so let's start the show.
Hey, this is Cody Rhodes, and let's get buzzed.
NBC has another hit medical drama on their hands called Nurses, and we have one of its co-stars, Natasha Calis, on the show to give us all the details and tell us about her character, Ashley Collins. Let's take a look.
So I guess you got your job back. Which means co-workers again.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of nice when we weren't. So what are we gonna do?
Boundaries. Draw a line right here and don't cross it.
What happens if I do?
Hey, I'm serious.
Natasha, welcome to the show. Tell us about your character, Ashley.
So Ashley is a really fun character to play. She's a little bit edgy. She's kind of an adrenaline junkie, and she says what's on her mind, and she doesn't care how anybody feels about that. So yeah, she's definitely fun. Definitely doesn't have a filter. And Nurses basically centers around 5 rookie nurses that are kind of thrown into a busy downtown hospital, and they're trying to find their footing. They're fresh out of school, and it's kind of them following them, trying to figure out, trying to balance their nursing life and their newfound lives in the hospital. So yeah, it follows them trying to figure out that nursing is more than just taking care of patients and everything that they learned in nursing school, but it's also more compassion and sympathy and being emotional support for their patients. So
how much of Ashley is similar to you or different than you?
It's funny you asked that, because when I first read the character and read the script, I was like, wow, this girl we're not similar at all. We have nothing in common. And that was really exciting for me to play, because I like playing people who are completely different than me. And then as the season went on, I started realizing that we have more similarities than I first had thought. So it was kind of fun discovering that, and yeah, getting to know her better than what I originally thought.
Do you think you would be friends in real life?
I think so. She's a badass. Yeah, I like her. I'm a little bit more, I think, timid and I don't want to ever hurt anybody's feelings, and I'm careful about what I say, where she is just kind of no BS, will say what's on her mind. And so I feel like she would be a good person to have around.
Now, I'm sure studying for the show, the producers flooded you with medical terms and procedures. Did you learn anything? And if you did, could you fix me up if I got hurt?
Absolutely not. No way. We had a week of medical training before we started filming. And so we learned the basics, not necessarily, the lingo, but we learned how to do CPR and how to administer IVs, and kind of just basic to know that we look like we know what we're doing at least. But yeah, as far as terms and lingo goes, nada.
There are so many medical shows on TV. Why do you think this genre does so well?
I think it's just an interesting world. I actually just recently started watching Grey's Anatomy for the very first time ever. Just because, yeah, and I somehow was able to dodge all of the spoilers throughout the year. So I have no idea who dies. I have no idea what happens. So it's really fun. I'm yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I don't know. It's something about, I think, following these people in helping, saving lives. I think there's something that resonates so deeply with people when it comes to the sense of compassion that you have to have as a healthcare worker, and empathy. And you're not only, they're I think it's the knowledge. I think they're superheroes. They're heroes. They save people's lives, every day. And I think it's fascinating for me, at least, watching their knowledge and how to it's incredible. These people are amazing. So I think, but what's different about our show is, I think, a lot of medical dramas these days center around doctors. and don't necessarily follow nurses around. And so I think it's about time that we, give nurses the credit that they deserve, because they are so, so hands-on in the hospital, and yeah, it's time that we shine some spotlight on them. So I'm really excited to be a part of this project.
So where can fans expect Ashley's character arc to go in the show?
I think you can expect to kind of fall in love with Ashley. I mean, I don't think she was the most likable character right off the bat, but there's so much more to her than meets the eye. And I think you get to know her and her kind of like upbringing and her family life, and how that's really shaped her tough exterior. And, through a romance and her love life, you really get to see different sides of Ashley, and how she has the biggest heart and will do anything to protect the people that she cares about. So I'm really excited to kind of see her, for you guys to see her arc and how she kind of opens up.
Thank you so much for being on the show. You're awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You can watch Nurses on NBC at 10 p.m. and streaming on Hulu the next day. Don't go anywhere, because we have Dani Doucette in our Artist Spotlight.
Hi, my name is Natasha Calis, and you've just been buzzed.
Not the words you wanted to hear, I had to say 'em. It would hurt you just as much for me to stay.
Hailing from Toronto, Canada, Dani Doucette is poised to be the next musical import to infect our airwaves. She recently just dropped her new single, Selfish, and will be following that up with the track, Crave. We have Dani up next to tell us all about it in our Artist Spotlight.
It would hurt you just as much for me to stay. Oh no. And it's best for you to leave me. I've been a rebel all my life, believe me. I'm not the type of woman you can change. I wish you well. I know you're good. I hope she's giving you everything I never could.
Hi, I'm Dani Doucette. I'm a singer-songwriter performer from Toronto, Canada. And yeah, performing, making music, making people feel things with music is what I love to do. So when I was 6, I started to write, but I think it was kind of like it was going to be a natural progression since I grew up with a family of musicians. My father was a traveling musician before I was born, and his whole family, there's 12 of them, were all musicians as well. So it was kind of like, I mean, it was bound to happen that I'd have a microphone in my hand at some point. Actually, about 10 years ago, I started to release a little bit of stuff, like SoundCloud, and I think SoundCloud was the bigger one about 10 years ago. Spotify, when it came about, I actually was working with a producer who was working on original compositions for a film. So those songs were actually just acoustic song versions of, fully produced songs they became, but that was when I started to really actually start releasing. During COVID, so prior to COVID, I was singing in a corporate band as well. So we did a lot of corporate functions on weekends and stuff like that. And since when COVID hit, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, because it really allowed me to like dive into all the songs that I've accumulated over the years. But, life takes over and you don't have all the studio time in the world at your fingertips sometimes. So during COVID, I actually started to release a lot more. But my life has been music, but just not recently, but in the last year, it's been really like the steps have been going forward at a fairly fast momentum, I guess you can say.
No, I couldn't be selfish, taking all your time, when I know I'm just looking for someone to try.
Days before we were given like the whole COVID, the world was going into COVID alert. So my mom and I were in Mexico March 8th, I believe. And it was our last day of vacation. We only did like a 5-dayer because we were just like, we need some sun. So while I was there, I took the time really to just be listening to a lot of music that I don't generally listen to. And just sat on the beach, listened to a lot of tunes. And we went back to our room before dinner, and I just sat on the back patio, and I had this melody in my head. And then the words just came naturally. And I wrote Selfish literally like just really quickly. And I went inside to my mom when she was getting ready for dinner. And I'm like, hey, let me sing you something. And she's like, oh, I really like it. I'm like, I do too. So it was just a really like organic thing that just happened. And I wrote it about a previous relationship. And the gist of it is Selfish is written about, it was selfish of me to stay in something knowing that it was over, knowing that I knew that it was over. So it would have been selfish for me to take somebody's time away from them. So that was the premise of the song. The 2020 had a lot of silver linings. I'm a typically very optimistic person. I like to look for the good in things, and I like to look for the opportunity. But yeah, I mean, it was trying. I was writing a lot, and I was lucky. I was kind of bubbling with people that had studios, so we'd kind of just keep the momentum going in order to keep our own sanity. Because I think also, I'm sure you could probably attest to this. As an artist, like, we're super creative and we need an outlet. I love talking to anybody that likes to talk to me. So if you want to find me on Instagram, I am a DM away. So that's Dani._Doucette on Instagram, and Spotify. I feel like a lot of people don't know this about Spotify, but you can heart a song, you can like a song, but to follow the account is really where artists are benefited from that. So, and another thing is too, all of that's free. You don't have to buy any of my merch or anything. That's just a free way to support. Hi, my name is Dani Doucette, and you've just been buzzed.
Selfish is out now, so don't forget to check that out. Next up, we have Lex Lumpkin to tell us all about covering the Wildcard Weekend game in New Orleans for Nickelodeon. Lex Lumpkin and his co-star Gabriella Nevaeh Green got to cover Nickelodeon's Wildcard game, complete with special effects and, yes, of course, slime. We have Lex here to tell us all about it. Hey, Lex, what's up?
Hey, yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Nathan's here and all our friends are rolling through. Through the gate outside or through the window, you can choose. Now it's all my boys, my little sister did it too. This is way too big, all of the things we gonna do. Break stuff! There's a full-blown party up in my room. Yeah. Thought they fell off my bed and broke his tooth.
Tell us how you got on all that.
We originally came out to LA for pilot season, and the first audition that I ever had was for All That, but we didn't know it was for All That. It was just an untitled sketch show, and they took us back 7 times, and each time we had to come up with new characters and new sketches for the character, and it was a fun process. And when I finally booked it, I was so excited. I was actually in shock.
There it is. Hey y'all, we got the trophy right here. Mitch Trubisky is the winner.
Tell us, how did you get involved with hosting Wildcard Weekend for Nickelodeon?
A month before, they called up me and Gabby, and they were like, yo, how do you guys feel about participating in a game with the NFL? This is something totally new. We're trying out. We do not know how it's gonna go. And of course, I was like, I was on board immediately. I'm a big fan of football, and I love Nickelodeon. So putting the two together, getting the best of both worlds, I was all in on it. And we flew out to New Orleans. We got in a hotel, and I actually had to shoot unfiltered while I was there. But I got to go next to the field, next to the players, and report on the entire game, and it was so much fun.
I mean, I'm into fashion, but I mean, for the most part, I like to be comfy.
Me too. Okay.
Everywhere I go, I would go everywhere in pajamas.
High fashion, like Roma. Yo, I see you got tacos on there. Are tacos your favorite food?
I love tacos. I love Mexican food. We're always eating tacos.
Now you have a second show called Unfiltered. Tell us about that.
Okay. So Unfiltered, it's an amazing show. Basically, we're panelists go on. Jay Farrell is hosting it. And basically, we ask questions to a celebrity guest hidden behind a filter. And we have to try to figure out who it is without seeing their face. And we get little hints and everything. And it can get pretty competitive at times, but it is a lot of fun. You guys should definitely tune in. You do not want to miss it. And it's actually like having a another celebrity on every single week with Jay Fro and all of his impressions. It's really cool. And seeing that in like, not technically in person, but like hearing the impression, you would never know that it isn't the actual person. He's so great at it.
Yeah, you remember the Titans? That was us. You guys are a team. I need you to play as one. Okay, all right. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're blue. And I don't care if you're red. You are a family. Do you understand? Now run around the world and do it in 15 seconds.
I have a few things I'm working on right now, like working on pitching a screenplay and a TV show, just working around seeing who I can pitch it to, keeping on auditioning, making sure, trying to audition for movies and other TV shows and just things like that. So you guys just stay tuned. We've got a lot of amazing things coming your way.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Much success.
Yes, sir. You too. Bye.
Don't forget to check out All That and Unfiltered on Nickelodeon. Check your local listings. We still have more show to go with Eden Wood from Toddlers and Tiaras, so don't go anywhere. Toddlers and Tiaras, where are they now? Just aired this past Thursday on Discovery Plus. The show covers the current lives of the featured kids from the show and lets viewers see how they've grown up. I talked to Eden Wood earlier to let us know what she's up to now. Eden, how are you?
Just sitting at the house.
So, what do you remember from being on the show?
Well, when I was on the show, I was like 3, 4, and 5, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. So I was really, really young. So of course there's not a lot that I remember, but what I do remember is how much I loved getting on the stage and performing, which I still love to do till this day. And I also love, I was a little kid, so I absolutely loved getting off stage and getting the candy that I get after performing and stuff like that. They'd give out like little gifts, like little makeup kits and stuff like that. I love that, so.
What was one of the standout moments you remember from the show?
Okay, so there's a show, I saw it on YouTube, I don't remember what it was, but I was with my mom and I was just not having it. I was so mad, the cameras were all in my face, my mom was like toting me around, she was like, you tell me right now if you want to do it, and then all of a sudden my face just lights up and I'm like, haha, just kidding, we're gonna do it. It was just so funny to me. Like, I was crazy back then. And then I got on stage and strutted my stuff. Everything was fine. My mom was like,
Tell us, what are you up to now?
I'm still modeling, but sadly, because of COVID, we haven't been able to go to New York or have a fashion show. But I really do miss it. And I've done a few pageants. Like I just won back in the summer, but again, because of COVID, no pageants. Recently, actually, I've come out with a song called All of My Feels, which you can find that on my Instagram at Official Eden Wood. And I'm coming out with 2 other songs, one called Keep Dreaming, which I collaborated with a DJ Alden, and another one called From the Country, which is going to be a country song. But those aren't out yet, they're coming though.
For you, they can love me, hate me, but don't anticipate me. I think they'd be surprised.
Thank you so much for being on. Where can fans follow you online?
Okay, so you guys can follow me on Instagram at Official Eden Wood, and my TikTok is Eden's Official, along with my Snapchat. You'll find my Facebook, Twitter, all on Instagram, and then my website where you can get my makeup is www.officialedenwood.com. Hi, my name is Eden, and you've just been buzzed.
That's all we have. Special thanks to Eden Wood, Lex Lumpkin, Dani Doucette, and Natasha Calis. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and double tap us on Instagram, all at @buzz_access. Before we go, we would like to give a shout out to JoJo Siwa, who recently came out to her fans of being herself. She recently took to her Instagram Live to let fans know how relieved and happy she is with all the support she's received. We're going to leave you with some of the highlights of her heartfelt message. I'm Trey Rich. Love and light to you all.
Hi. I wanted to come on here and just talk to y'all for a second. Say hi, say what's up, say thank you, because for the last, what would it be now, 48 hours, 72 hours, I have gotten the most endless amount of love and support, and it is, I'm just, I am really, really, I'm really happy. And now that the world gets to see this side of my life, it makes me really, really happy. I've been happy in this land for a minute now. And now, though, that I just get to share that with the world, it's awesome. And I'm just so happy, and it's just so amazing. And I want people to know that there is so much love in the world. There's so much love, and it is so incredible and so amazing. It's wonderful. And I have felt so much love, and I have felt so much happiness surrounding me, and it's unreal. But literally, there's so many people in the world who are so supportive and who are so accepting and who are so loving and who are so awesome. Somebody, okay, relax, take it down a notch. Oh boy, somebody commented something funny. But yeah, no, it's really been so amazing, and I love y'all. Hey Twitch, what's up? I'm obsessed with you and your family. I love y'all. Thank you guys. Just thank you. I'm so happy. That's something that's really fun. In my career, I've always been like super happy. My career has always made me super happy. You know, like being on tour has always made me super happy. New products have always made me super happy. Videos have always made me super happy. Songs have made me always super happy. But like personally, I have never ever been this happy before. I want to share everything with the world. I really do. But I also want to keep things in my life private until they're ready to be public. But right now, what matters is that you guys know that no matter who you love, that it's okay and that it's awesome and that the world is there for you. There's so many people that are there for you. And I know that, you know, everyone's situation is different, and it might be harder for some people and it might be easier for some people to come out or to be themselves. But I think coming out has this stigma around it that it's a really scary thing, but it's not anymore. There's so many accepting and loving people out there that it's okay. Of course people are gonna say it's not normal, but it's your normal. Nothing is normal. Literally not one thing about anybody is normal, and it's okay to not be normal. It's okay to be a little different. It's okay to be a little weird. It's okay to be a little strange. It's okay to be different. And I think a lot of people are afraid of being different.
For more stories and extended clips, go to thebuzzallaccess.com. I'm Trey Rich, and you've just been buzzed.